Hi, welcome to my channel. In today's session, we will discuss about user registration in ASP.NET and C#. So this is the example we are going to discuss in today's session. So this is the user registration form we are going to design, and we will give the options like sign up and reset here. So whenever user clicks, these are all the mandatory fields. First name is mandatory, mobile number mandatory, gender mandatory, username, password and confirm passwords are mandatory. Okay. So then whenever we have to do one more validation, whenever user enters password and confirm password, it should match. Then only we have to allow for sign up. Again one more, suppose if this username is already exist in the table, we have to check that one. If it is exist means we should not allow to sign up. So these are all the validations we are going to do it. So to implement this example, we need tools like Microsoft Visual Studio. So we are going to use ASP.NET and C# here. And one more tool is we need Microsoft SQL Server to create a database and to store the data in user table. Okay. So and we are going to create store procedures to execute this. Okay. So these are all the implementation steps we have to do for this. We have to create a web project for this, and we have to create one web form for user registration. So we are going to design that user registration form in that, and we are going to create one database, and in that database we will create one user master table in SQL Server. So we will create one store procedure to insert the data in master table, and we will create a connection string in Web.Config. So we will store the connection string in Web.Config, and from here we will establish a connection to SQL Server. Okay. And we are going to create a class file to store all our business logic, and we will write the logics here. Okay. So finally we have to call the save function on click event. Whenever user clicks on sign up button, we have to call the save function to store the data. First we will see the demo. Then so this is my user registration form where first name is mandatory, mobile number, gender, username, password and confirm passwords are mandatory. Suppose user is trying without entering any mandatory data, click on sign up. So it is asking first name, mobile number, gender, username, password and confirm password. So these are all the mandatory fields. We are using for this validation purpose, we are using required field validator here. For this text box, I am validating with required field validator. Okay. Whenever user clicks on reset, so it will clear all the contents from the text boxes and drop those. All the controls data will be cleared. Suppose click on reset. So all the data are removed. Okay. And one more validation we are doing here is, suppose whenever password entering by the user, if there is any mismatch between password and confirm password, we have to show the password and confirm passwords are not matching. We are showing this message here. Okay. And we will try to create one user and we will check the functionality. I am creating one test user here. I am giving username as test, password I am giving as password. Try to click on sign up. User registered successfully. Okay. I am creating one more called user. Again I am trying with the same user. Okay. Click on sign up. Username already exists. Please try with other. Okay. Because already user is available, that's why it is saying that you have to try with some other username. So these functionalities also we are working. Now we'll try to implement this in our new project. Okay. So these are all the implementation steps. We will try one by one. First what we have to do is we have to create a new web project. Okay. For that what I am doing is I am using my Visual Studio 2013 for this example. Click on file, new. You have to click on project. So I am selecting Visual C# under the web Visual Studio 2012. I am selecting. I am using .NET Framework 4 for this example, and I am selecting empty web application. I am giving my project name as sign up, and you can change the path if required. Click on OK. So my project is creating. So now project has been created here. Next step what we have to do is we have to create a web form. We have to create one new web form. So right click on your project, add new item. I need one web form. So I'm giving name as user registration. Click on add. So our web form has been created. Now I need some style sheets for my text boxes. Right click on that, add style sheet. I'm giving name as style sheet. Okay. So I don't want any body here. And now I want to call this style sheet in my header. Just drag and drop this style sheet here so that you can access all the style sheets whatever you are using in that style sheet. Now I want to give my page title here. I'm giving as user registration. And I want one table for this. I'm giving ID as TBL user registration. Not so. I need table border here. Border color I'm giving as black. Border width I'm giving as 1. And border style I'm giving as solid. And my table I want to align horizontally center. Then I want one table header row here to display the header. I want header cell and I'm creating one label here. I'm giving ideas TBL header, so and text I'm giving as user registration. I want font in bold. That's it. After this label I want to display one horizontal row. Then I need one table row here. I want one more label, table cell inside the table row. I want one label here. What we need is we need first name here. We are going to first name in this. We are going to display first name here, and I need font in bold. Okay, I need one more table cell here to display the text box. Here we have to display our text box. ID I'm giving as txt first name, run at server, and I want some CSS class. Text box, and this field is mandatory, so that we have to give one span for easy identification. I am giving style as folk color. Color I will give it as red, and I am giving one star here so that it will be displayed as mandatory. I am giving one required field validator to validate this text box. First name, and I want to validate this text box here and display dynamically I want to display, and I want to give faux color also here. I want to display in red, and the error message I required here. Enter first name, and I want to focus on error. Then I need one validation group here. Whenever user submits, that time I want to validate. What this required field validator will do is, whenever user is not entering anything in this text box, it will show this error message. Okay. So now we need one more row here. I am copying this one. Copy entire row. So I need last name here. Txt last name. And I need required field. I don't want this required field validator because this is not the mandatory field. I'm removing this one also. I need one more row here to display mobile number. So I'm giving column name as mobile number. My text box name will be mobile number, and I need the required field validator here because this is mandatory field, and we have to pass the text box name here. Enter mobile number. Okay, I need one more row here to display this gender. Gender also mandatory field. Here I don't want any text box. I want one drop down list here. So I want to add list items here. Text, initially I need select gender, and value also I'm setting as select gender only. Okay, I need one more list item. It's male, value also I'm setting as male. I need one more list item called female. Value also I'm giving as female. So here I want to set select gender as default selected item. For this you have to select as selected true, and I need required field validator here for gender. So control name is DDL gender. So this control number should match with this controller, then only it will validate. Here we have to show the error message as select gender, and here we have to pass one more variable like initial value. We have to pass initial value. We are going to show as select gender. So now it will validate for gender also, and finally I want one username, password, confirm password. I need one more label for address here. Address also not a mandatory field. So here I want to set text mode as multi-line because address will be more than single line, and I want to set as height 50 pixel. So we don't want any required field validator because it's not a mandatory. Here we need one username. Text box name is txt username. I need required field validator. So here enter username is the text we have to display on validation, and I need password here. So our text controller will be txt password, and I want to set text mode is password because we don't want to display the text here. Controller name will be password. And one more row required for us for confirm password, and copy pasting here will be a confirm password here. Text box ID I am taking as confirm password. So this controller has to match. Here we need one more controller called compare to validator because we have to compare this password with the confirm password. Here controller name is compare validator. So I am giving as confirm password. So which one we have to validate is confirm password. We have to validate, and here we need one more parameter, compare with control to compare is txt password is we have to compare. Okay, here we have to display message is password and confirm passwords are not matching. So we have to display this one, and here we will take one more table row for buttons. We will take one table cell here. We will take one table cell here, and I want to insert one horizontal row after all the controls. Now here I will create one button. Now here I will create one button. My button ID is btn sign up not server. Text I am giving as sign up, and I want to set font bold is true, and I want to set some back color. I'm selecting yellow green, and I want one event. Whenever user clicks on btn sign up, I want to save the data. For that I created one event and copy pasting here for reset. Here I am adding some spaces. So I want one more button called btn reset. Text will be reset I am giving. Font same. Here we have to create one new click event. and whenever user clicks on sign up, we have to validate. So our validation group is submit, then only it will validate. Okay, now finally I want one more row here to display the label message. Here I'm going to call span 2 because only we have single column. So here we need one label. Real message. So whenever success or any error, I'm going to show it on this one. Here I want to set font bold is true and color I'm going to set as green. That's it. You just go to design and see the screen. So this is the user registration. User registration, you have to use the call span, and I want to show it in horizontally buttons in center, and this I want to show it in left only. So our design part we have completed as we expected. First name is mandatory, mobile number mandatory, gender, username, password and confirm passwords are mandatory. Okay, so design part we have completed. Next step is what we have to do is we have to create a database, and then we have to create one table to store our user master information. Okay, for that I'm opening my SQL Server. So for this example I'm using Microsoft SQL Server 2012 and I'm using Windows authentication. If you want to use SQL Server authentication, you have to select the authentication type as SQL Server authentication, and you have to provide login and password for that. At present I'm using Windows authentication and connecting. So expand the databases. I want to create one new databases. Right click on new databases and select a new database. I'm giving as demo is my database name, and I'm selecting path, storage path is demo databases, clicking on OK, and log also I'm selecting the same path, click on OK. So refresh on databases. So our database has been created. Expand the databases, right click on tables, click on new table. So we need some columns, like we need first name. Here I am giving as user master ID. This is the integer and this is my primary key. What it will do is it will not allow duplicate values, and I am not going to insert any values to this column. I will set identity as true, so that SQL Server will insert the data into the user master ID. It will increment 1. Okay, and I need first name. Here I am giving another 50 characters for the user first name. I am not allowing nulls, and the last name 50 characters. I am allowing nulls because it's not a mandatory field. Then I need a mobile number. Here I'm giving as 10 characters. I'm not allowing nulls. Then I need address. Here I want 250 characters for address. Address is not a mandatory. Then I need username here, so this is also mandatory. Password I am giving here. Okay, that's it. We need first name, last name, mobile number, gender, address, username, password. Okay, we created all the columns as we expected, and click on save. It's asking for table name. You can give the name user master. I'm giving as user master for my table. Click on OK. Click on new query and you can check the table structure here. So it is created all the columns. Okay, then what we have to do is we have to create a stored procedure to insert the user master data. So for that, click on new query, create procedure. What we have to do is USP underscore. I want to insert the user master data. Insert user master data. So for this I need some parameters. I have to pass some parameters. So I'm copying from expand the tables, go to design. So I'm copying all the columns here and pasting here. User master we don't want because this is a primary key and we selected as identity, so SQL Server will take care of that column. So I'm setting @ here to declare the variable, and this is data type is 50. So this data type should match with your table structure, otherwise it will throw the error. Here I'm giving 250 characters, here 10 characters, and 50. And finally I need one more parameter called message. I'm giving same length, and this is a output parameter. I want to return the message, okay, as begin and end. Your store procedure will begin here and it will be ending here, okay. So before starting, what we have to do is there any existing username available or not? First we have to check that. For that, what I'm doing is I'm creating one, I'm declaring here one variable called existing user count. It is an integer. By default I'm setting as 0. I want to check the existing user count now. Okay, how we have to check is select count of all the records from dbo.usermaster where username equal to @username. Whenever username available with this username, new value passed while passing, so it will give the count. Suppose if there is any count is available, existing user count is greater than 0, that means already someone is created with the same username. That time what we have to do is we have to send a message called username already exists, please try with another username. So this message we have to display to user. Suppose there is no user available with the name, so then we have to insert into dbo.usermaster. We have to pass all the column names here. Again I'm copying here. So we no need to pass this user master ID here. I need first name, I need last name, mobile number, address, and username, passwords. I am making in single line all the parameters, all the table column names, so that it will be easy. Okay, these are all the columns required. Okay, now I have to pass the values here. Pasting again. So we have to pass the parameter name. Each parameter you have to pass it here. So better give the parameter name and column name same value, then only it will be easy for validation purpose. If it is inserted, then I want to return the message here. User created successfully. So this message we are going to do. Suppose if there is any error in the execution of the stored procedures, that time I want to catch. So for that what I will do is begin try. How we are using in Visual Studio try catch block. Here also we can do the same, begin try, and finally I am ending try, then begin catch and catch. Suppose if there is any error form, set direct message equal to error message. So it will send the error message. Okay. So this is the our store procedure. What we are doing? This is my store procedure name. I am passing all the parameters which is required in the table. Then I am starting here declaring one variable, local variable called existing user count. So I am checking with the username, is there any user is available with the new username. Suppose if it is available, means I am passing as username already exists, else I am creating the user details. I am saving into user master and I am finally sending as user created successfully message. Okay. Now what we have to do is click on execute. So our store procedure also created here. You can go and check here. Expand the store procedures. Our store procedure is created. Okay. Now next step. What we have to do is we have to create a connection string in Web.Config. For that, switch to your Visual Studio. Open Web.Config. Here we have to pass the connection string. So I am giving my connection string here. I am giving my connection string name. So I am giving as my connection string. Then connection string is, I have to pass the data source first. Data source is I am using my local authentication, Windows authentication. So data source is I am using Windows authentication. That's why I am passing my PC name. Then I want initial catalog. Initial catalog is nothing but your database name, because my database name is demo. I am giving as demo. Then integrated security. True. So that's it. We established a connection between your SQL Server and web application. Now next step is, so we have to create a class file to store our business logics. Okay. Right click on the project, click on add class, select the class, and we have to give the class name. I am giving as my business logics user registration. User registration is my class name. First what we have to do is, I need some namespaces, so I am importing here system.configuration I want. Then I need system.data here, system.data.SQL client. I need all three namespaces, that's why I am importing. First we have to call the connection string here. For that I am creating one function, static function here. I am creating as connection string. Here I am declaring one variable, connection string. So I am storing my connection string in this local variable, configuration manager. Configuration manager dot connection strings. So here we have to pass our connection string name. This is the connection string dot connection string. What I am going to do is, I want to return this connection string. So here I am going to create one function to save the data, save user details, and I have to call the, I want to Here I have to pass all the parameters. This time copying from again this table and passing the parameters. I don't want user master ID. This is the string. Again I need last name here. Then I need mobile number. Then I want address here. Then I want username. Finally we want password. Okay, so we need to pass these parameters to SQL Server. So what I'm doing is I'm creating one local variable called message to store the return message, and I'm creating one SQL connection object here. I'm assigning null. I want SQL command. Now by using connection SQL connection of, we have to call the connection string here. Okay, now we establish a connection between our web application and SQL Server. Then I have to create command here, connection dot create command. Then command dot, what type of command we are going to pass. So I'm going to pass store procedure. Then we need command text, command dot command text equal to, we have to provide our store procedure name. You can get our store procedure name from SQL Server. So we paste it here. Now we have to pass one by one parameters. Okay, parameter dot add. So I want first name here. So that parameter name should match with this SQL parameters, otherwise it will throw the error. And we have to pass the data type. Where carries my data type dot value. We have to assign the first name here. Like this, I want to. We need one more parameter, last name. Here we have to assign last name, and we need mobile number. We need mobile number here, and then address. I'm assigning address here. Then we need username. We have to assign the value. Then we need password again. So these parameters what we are passing and what we assign in the SQL Server, it should match, otherwise it will throw the errors. And finally we need message as output parameter. Here I am giving us 100 characters, 50 only I give here, 50. Then we have to pass the what type of direction it is. Parameter direction dot, it is a output parameter. Okay, so we passed all the parameters. Now we have to open the connection here, connection dot open. Then we have to execute the command, command dot execute non-query. So command will be executed here. Then we have to store the return out parameters of, here we will get the message dot value that I'm converting as to string, and I'm closing connection. In SQL Server, if you are using method, then you no need to close the connection here. It's your wish. If you want to close, you can close, or you can leave it as it is. Not a problem. Finally, what we have to do is we have to return the message. So next step we have to call the save function on click event. Okay. So this is our C# coding we have to write here. Whenever button resetting, we need one function to clear all the form controls. I'm creating one function called clear form. What we have to do is we have to set all the columns empty. First name dot text is, I want to make it as empty. So then I want last name should be empty, then mobile number, then I want real gender dot selected index equal to -1, then address, then I need username, I want to make it as empty, then password also, then confirm password also. Finally will be a message dot text, I want to clear it off. Okay, so whenever reset clicks, we have to call this function called clear form, and also whenever page loads at the first time, if not use post back, so I want to call the clear form function. Whenever users sign up, we have to save the data. For that, what we have to do is we have to call our business class here. I'm creating one object here for business class. What we have to do is I'm creating one local variable called result to store the our return output. Result is obj dot save user details. For that, function is expecting some parameters. So first name we will get it from txt first name dot text dot trim. Whenever you are reading data from the text boxes, I suggest to trim the data. Suppose if there is any spaces added, that time also it will consider as data. That's why I'm suggesting to use the trim. Okay, then it's expecting last name, then I need mobile number, then I need address, then I need username, then I need password. Here we missed one parameter called gender. Here also we missed gender column, so I'm going to add the gender here. Gender, and saving the table. I need gender also. We missed this column, somehow we missed. Here care of 50 MB. Okay, here we have to insert gender also. Passing gender, executing, so it's already available. Try to alter, it's created. Now We need to pass gender also. So after mobile number we have to pass the gender. Now here after mobile number I am passing dot selected value. Okay, now we will get the result here. Suppose, so what we will get if it is created successfully? User created successfully. This is the message we will get. If result dot true lower dot contains, if it contains this text means I'm making as lower, because here result is we are making as lower. Then I want to display in LBL message dot text result. Otherwise, suppose if it is not created means it may be the SQL error or user is already exist. So we have to display in faux color red. That's why here I am validating this. I am setting LBL message dot text equal to result and LBL message dot faux color equal to, I am setting as system dot drawing dot color dot red. So I am making as color red. Okay, I want all this in try catch block so that if there is any error means easily we can find out. Click on surround with try. If there is any exception I want to show it here. Next dot message. Okay, now build the application. Set user registration as starter page and run the application. So try to click on sign up. So it is validating as we expected, and click on reset. Now I'll try to enter one test user. I'm giving as test password. I'm giving, click here, password and confirm passwords are not matching. So this validation is clear. I'm giving matching password now. Click on sign up. User created successfully. If you want to check the data, just exclude the query. User stored successfully. Suppose here after creating we have to clear all the form controls. For that what we have to do is we have to call the clear form function after successful message. So I want here, if successfully executed means I want to show the message and I want to clear the all the controls, form controls. Okay, we run again. So again I am trying with the same test user. I am giving us some other name. Username is I am giving as same name. Click on sign up. Username already exists. Please try with another. Okay, like this we can validate. What I am doing is now I am giving as different username. Click on sign up. User created successfully. Also our all the controls are cleared. Okay, like this we have to do. See the implementation steps once again. What we have to do is we have to create a web project, then create one web form for user registration, and we have to create a database, and we have to create one table also in SQL Server, and create one store procedures to insert the data in user master, and create a connection string in Web.Config to establish a connection between your web application and SQL Server database, and create a class file to store all your business logic, and write the function to store the data. Finally, you call the save function on. So that's it for today. I'm sharing all the source code in the description. You can download from my video description. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.